Hello and welcome back to the Natural Physique Podcast. We have your hosts, Josh Campbell, Noah Campbell, and Finn Kelly. How was my Noah Campbell impression?
Fantastic. Are you
Fantastic.
two related?
No, mate. If you want to figure that out, just
How?
go watch your old
Just
YouTube
look at my
video.
triceps, bro. Can you not tell we're related?
But you've got the same name.
No, it must be. We look so similar as well.
Yeah.
Pretty much identical. Right, similar sense of humor to be fair. Just both extremely immature.
Yeah.
That's good. But how we doing? Everyone, Finn, Noah. Noah, you can go first. Finn's munching. It was
Yeah.
barbecue sauce last time, by the way. For anyone who was wondering, remember we were discussing what's on it now. So that is,
Robbie.
hi Jobby. What's the macros on Jobby? That's a fun macro. That is cream of rice. There's
No,
banana
no,
in
no, it's
there,
not. It's
a
not
bit of
cream of rice.
cinnamon, and then some chocolate whey paste.
Not cream of rice.
Cinnamon, yogurt, banana, whey.
No, it is
Oh,
rice
yes, and rice
flour.
pudding.
No, he said rice pudding
Oh,
sold out. It's rice flour.
It's rice flour.
no.
Ah, you get so excited.
It's rice flour, cinnamon, a natural GDA, yeah.
Yeah.
Banana, raspberries, and salt, and like you said, chocolate whey.
Are you having that post workout? You better not be having that post workout. Jake Byers would cut your balls off
Oh.
Why?
for eating cinnamon, the anti-inflammatory
No,
effect it
he's
has.
he's he's now using cinnamon post workout. I think I'd say I don't know what the Sigma.
This is crazy. In the Jake Byers lore.
Yeah.
Love you,
I think
Jake,
I'd
if you're watching. I think
Yeah,
Jake's nearly done.
I have it post workout. I also have it
Huh.
meal
You're
one,
not
not
going
meal
to
two.
grow any muscle then at that point because the cinnamon kills your gains.
Cinnamon, I know cinnamon is the main killer of gains. I've heard it. Yeah, heard that
Yeah,
before.
definitely.
Yeah.
But no, we all good. Noah, how you doing? I was with you today, obviously. Good wee
I'm
push session
exhausted after that session.
from
Knackered. Me and Josh had push, but we have the same movement,
I was gonna say we done so much it together.
same session, but completely separate.
Yeah.
But it was a good one to be fair. And then that's about it. I think. Oh, did you check about Recovery Lounge?
No, I haven't. I
Oh,
found out that you could get a Jaguar F-Type on Forza Horizon 5 and I spent like half an hour doing that.
that is
Uh,
so useful, bro.
mhm.
So yeah, we're both gonna try and see if we can get in with Recovery Lounge to see what's going on. My hips are appalling at the minute. My left hip started giving me jip earlier on in the diet, and then my knee started going. So we'd taken out cardio about 6 weeks ago, and then
Six
as of
or like
today,
seven or something.
6, 7 or something like that.
Yeah, something like
As of
Did you see that
as
was like the word of the year in Urban Dictionary?
that. Oh, you'll learn one day.
oh as of like today and the last week it started coming back again and seizing up, especially when I'm doing my like hanging leg raises. I'm noticing any time I'm trying to bring my hips up and contract, my left side, like my hip just seizes completely. So I'm gonna try and see Dylan about that. But aside from that, nothing has really been going on. Oh, I don't know if anyone else has started watching this Physical 100.
Oh, you were telling me about this.
Oh my, Finn, have you watched it? Have you
I've
started
watched
watching?
like the first season or so. How many seasons are
Mate, there's a new one, Physical Asia. Team Mongolia are fucking
there?
mental.
I've watched the first season on Netflix like years ago. It was sick.
Yeah, I've not watched anything else, but I'd seen like a snippet of Team Mongolia on TikTok. I was like, right, I need to start watching this. And mate, there's this one guy, he looked like he'd like eat your skin. He's
Pure
fucking
caveman,
mental.
isn't he? Pure.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
wild. But I honestly, we need to do a review on it. If you
Like
guys
we
watch
should do
it,
our own natural
fucking
physique
great.
physical
Natural
100.
bodybuilding, physical 100. Who would win?
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I don't know the whole like plot of it. Like it's just them doing loads of different things, isn't it?
Yeah, but like
yeah.
you have to be good at different things as well. Like it's not just about who's the strongest or the fastest. Like you got to be like an all rounder. Like the
Mm.
first year, it was like I think like a rock climber one or something. Sorry to spoil that for anyone.
I know, mate, you've ruined it. I think AJ Morris would definitely win. He's the greatest at everything.
Everyone would just let him win because they love him so much.
AJ Morris. Yeah. But physical 100's your highlight of the week.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get
And
Physical
his, get
100.
his photos up.
with your this guy, this fella.
No,
The
Noah's.
Mongolian.
Yeah, that's a Mongolian
Mate,
guy.
get the Mongolian up though. Hold on. The Mongolian's good TV.
Mongolian physical 100.
Yeah, it should come up. It's the guy with like the ponytails that come down here. Hold on. What's his name? Yeah, so see how there's the six there. Second photo. The one next to it. Him.
It's this fella in the middle.
Yeah, mate, he is fucking. He doesn't get
Don't know the
enough.
word. He looks primal. He looks
Yeah,
like
he looks
he's
very
gonna.
primal. Well, they're all from Genghis Khan, but
Yeah,
mate, like, see that next one, the photo next to it.
I'm
Get
too.
us out the
I
way.
can't
Get
navigate
that.
this shit.
That one.
Yes, there.
Look at him.
Just wants to eat you.
He's like a double champion in whatever sport it is. I think it's like a mixed martial arts or something, but
That guy.
and so
Get him doing his pre-prep diet. Get him on stage in 2026. Yeah,
get him in some Annie Gaines Vasos, mate.
I'm sure he'd love that. This is gay. But no, Finn, for you, your weekly update, anything going on, anything to chat about? Just the
Mm.
usual.
Spent the weekend helping, well, I say helping Megan move in, but she'd already moved in. So I spent the weekend in lovely Bollington near Manchester. Very, very nice area of the world.
Lovely.
Had a couple of sessions at AW Muscle and Fitness. Very, very good gym.
Yep.
On the way up, so on the drive on Friday night, I think just being sat for like an hour and a half. I was sat here like all day doing my work, and then I drove up to the gym and sat again for like an hour and a half, hour and 45 or whatever. I got there, like my hips were just dead tight, and then my hips have been giving me issues like pretty much ever since. So I was supposed to do pull on Monday, but like literally my hips, my lower back, there was no chance. So I did push, and it was a really good session. And then today I did pull, but just with no hip hinge, like no bent row, no deadlift. And again, a really good session. So just working around like my body just fighting me a little bit. Like I don't feel like I needed a deload. I just feel like I needed to listen to my body and pull back a little bit. And it's paid off because last two sessions have been really good. Body weight's up a little bit, which is nice. 92.5 kilos this morning in
Big boy.
kilos because Megan weighs herself in kilos.
I don't know why you do pounds. Like, we're not American. I've never worked in pounds. Like, see if a client sends me stuff in pounds, I'm a bit like, ugh. It doesn't make as much sense to me. I've always just worked in kg.
I don't know if it's because I used to do stones and pounds that maybe I've just went, oh fuck it, pounds is part of it.
Yeah.
But I've always been. Oh, I don't. I tell you no. I tell you why. Because I used to always do stones, but when I first signed up with Finn, on the sheets it said weight, and then underneath it in bracket was LBS,
Yeah, pounds.
and that's why I was like, right, we'll just do pounds
I
then.
don't know. I quite like working in pounds. Like I don't know why I do. I just feel like it's smaller increments and in my head, like I'll reference it. For example, if I'm thinking like how much would I expect someone to weigh on stage, like I just go off of pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's mad. That's the opposite to me. Like, I can't think about it in pounds. It doesn't make sense to
Yeah,
me. Yeah. But you're 92.5 kg, which is
like 203 point something pounds.
very nice. Are you fat yet?
I wouldn't say I'm lean, but I'm also not like
Peak Finn Kelly fat?
I'd like to get. I think I can get to 220 and then diet.
So that's 100 kg.
Yeah, I can get there like by the new year, just after the new year, diet in the new year.
7.5 kg in the space of 2 months.
Well, I've been the same weight for as long as I can remember.
Hmm.
So
Nearly.
I'm gonna blast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Blast your rice flour. Is that what it is?
just blast rice up my ass. Yeah.
Yeah. That's perfect. I've heard that
No,
makes you go
no,
really
I've been
well.
because I've been the same weight for so long, and like obviously with all the shows, and it's not an excuse at all, but like I was saying this to Matt the other day, like realistically, my clients are my priority more than myself. They always are, and they always have been. Like realistically, probably since I got busy-ish. Like, and I'm happy to admit that. Like, I don't prioritize myself, and I'm not. This isn't me being like feel sorry for me or me being like, look at me as a coach. I prioritize my athletes, but like, it doesn't mean I don't train or I don't eat my meals or anything. I do, but like, I'm just less involved in my own process. You know what I mean? It's just like I eat my meals and I train, and I just make sure I'm not going backwards. So like I've not like lost weight. I'll make sure I'm at least maintaining weight. But like I haven't pushed myself to be gaining. You know what I mean? I've just kind of maintained for ages. And like I've still trained well and my lifts have progressed for the most part across most movements. But I've not been like, right, I'm gonna actually fucking force myself to actually gain weight. Um and again it's just been I've been very much here, there and everywhere with all the shows like you guys have.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice now that obviously the shows are quieting down a little bit, and I can actually be like, right, cool. I'm going to push up throughout the rest of the year, and then diet in the new year because I haven't dieted for ages as well.
Yeah. It gets a bit not monotonous. Like you kind of need to lean into the monotony. But it does get to a point like when I started that diet, I was just like, thank the Lord.
Mm.
Brilliant. So yeah, that'll be good. I'm what, 6 kg down there, which is cool. So 86.2 to 80.2 yesterday. I was actually up a little bit this morning. Must have binged last night in the middle of my sleep without knowing it. That's the first time that I've actually been up since the diet started, like the day after. Like I never really fluctuate up. Mine just either stays the same or slowly comes down. There was a time where I had the same weight 5 days in a row, but it's been coming down consistently. I've been losing weight really easily. So it's like dropping off me. So I've been having the high days, which is just meals out. Calculating that, so I was gonna go for a wing stop, but it had how much?
Told you off, didn't I? Said no.
81 grams of fat or something in it. I was like, fuck
Fuck
that.
off,
Yeah,
it's
and
that
it
much.
was like the same carbs as well. You were like, how's this look? And it was
It
like
was,
80
yeah,
protein, 80 fat, 80 carb, and I was like, not
fuck
really.
that. Yeah. I actually, because I said I was going for a Nando's, I did go for something else, but the macros were good. Because Casey, for anyone who doesn't know, my girlfriend works in Nando's, and she'd been eating Nando's like on her break all week. She was going to work after, so she didn't want to eat another Nando's. So we got a, have you ever been to the burger place, Fat Hippo? I got a chicken burger from Fat Hippo.
It was great.
Was very nice. That was like 60 grams of protein, 160 grams of carbs, and like 60 grams of fat, or 50 grams of fat, something like that. It was good. So that worked out well. We're kind of sitting in the 1,400 calorie range for that meal. Just somewhere that I can track, make sure that I know what it is, how much grams of salt, so on and so forth. So I had that, and I matched weight again the next day. So just the same weight. But the day after, I've been up a little bit, which is today. So they've been working well. Like it actually flattens my weight out for a wee minute, or maybe brings it up 0.1, 0.2 kg, then bring down from there. It's just a case of constantly kind of like bringing back up, down, back up, down, because I need that, that fin obviously. But like my body weight does come down super easy. I flatten out quite easily. So yeah, just being sensible with it. But diet's going well. Might start training at Muscle Hut a little bit more often. I've got 5 sessions a week now. Just moved up from 4 sessions to 5 sessions again, which I'm happy about. So I might do some sessions at Muscle Hut because JP's is 50 minutes away. I can't be bothered driving 50 minutes and then over an hour back. So, yeah, my update, all good. I've got nothing really exciting to mention, to be honest. And yeah, that's that.
But what about you, Noah?
I've already spoken. I've only
I
got
know his
fucking
nose gave
physical
us his
hate.
physical 100s. He's
Give us
highlight.
an update on your coming out of the pre-prep.
Okay.
More of an update than that.
Oh,
So
your
yeah, I put
story
a
because you
post up
popped it up.
today. And yeah, we're 2 weeks into the. Oh no, I was gonna have my close friends on it, sure.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
so
just go in the
Oh
post.
no! Oh no!
no,
I don't know what's on that.
my Bobby's on that.
Oh God. Um,
So this was the end of the pre-prep. Do you have a post? Oh, you made a post literally today, didn't you?
yeah, stupid.
Perfect. Sorry, I didn't see it because it was up the top here. God, Instagram's got four at the top. It's strange.
Yeah.
Can I
So
put that up?
that is.
You look great. You do look really good. Like I know that I'm saying it in a way of like as
You
if you shouldn't,
you
but
sound
like
really fucking sarcastic. I found it.
you look great. What the fuck?
Yeah, you
No,
look.
but like
Yeah,
because you
sure.
don't really back yourself, and it's nice that you're actually posting and not deleting it straight away.
Do you know
Yeah,
what tells me off about that all the time?
a Noah Campbell special back in the
I
day.
get like tagged in posts or stories, and then it just go onto it, and it's not
Unavailable.
there.
I can't. If I look at a photo for too long before posting it, I'm like, that'll go up for half an hour and then it's gone because I fucking hate it. Or like, I'll find something. I'm like, never mind. I don't like
You
that.
don't like
Hey,
a
these are
small part
sick.
of it.
Like if I was to show you these, like even like 2, 3 months ago, you'd be like, "Fucking hell!" Like
Yeah.
even a month ago, because you were pretty flat at the end of the diet. Like you're not flat anymore. You look great, and you're lighter. You're just fuller and leaner.
Yeah. It's quite cool being able to see the looks. starting to come to life now. And like I've never really been able to see myself lean since I was 150 pounds. And in terms of condition, like it is not a 20 pound plus difference between where I am now, condition wise, to where I was 150. Like I can clearly see that I've gained a little bit of muscle. Thank fuck.
A little
Um,
bit, just a little
yeah.
bit.
Just a
uh,
little bit.
but yeah, it is exciting, and I guess just with the other things in place, talking about the shows that are kind of lining up now and learning a little bit more about what is when shows are getting announced, like next month. Obviously we'd spoken about it in the check-in, Finn, about some of the shows abroad next year. So yeah, it's exciting times. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited. I even said to you, like, I'm just wanting to get fucking start prep. I'm like itching to go now. But I know I need more food, more time to grow, and bring up some weaker areas and get as much more muscle in the frame as I can do before next year. And just see where we line up. But I thought I'd break out the new board shorts just because I woke up this morning
You're
thinking,
not
you know
even
what?
like showing the One Piece part of it.
I know, mate, because the other sides I look scabby as fuck. That's why all my
Mhm.
shots are from that that one side with the obliques.
You need to
Um,
switch the whole pose about just so you can see the One
I
Piece.
need to turn the shots back to front, mate. Um,
Yeah, we're in backwards. Perfect.
but yeah, a lot more needed through the chest, back, arms. Um,
I think your arms are great.
Yeah, it's more so your back. Like chest, yeah. Back, abs, your abs are good, but you can, like I said earlier, you can never have like abs are just such a superpower in men's physique.
yeah,
Never be too good.
You're starting to see a lot more detail come through here. Like your abs are satisfying in that sense. Your lats sweep out nicely from the front. Your delts look good.
yeah.
Just bringing that chest up in it.
Yeah, to be fair, it's one of the, it's like we had said when we were pushing, I was like, oh, my back's come up quite a bit. And now that I've gotten lean, I'm like, oh, my back actually gets really flat really quickly. We had noticed that maybe 3, 4 weeks ago. Um, or even that, like when I would show Finn in person, like, we was like, yeah, the back actually looks really fucking flat. So it's a case of just trying to make sure we can keep it full. We've added a lot more volume through my lats, especially, and went over a lot more cues about how to just get that little bit more from them.
That's the
And
thing though, like your natural kind of weaker body parts are going to flatten out quicker. Like if you think about my legs, they flatten out super quickly. Like your back when you started training, like there it is there. Like it's a weaker part for you. So it's
yeah,
always going to flatten out a little bit quicker, but still looks sick. Like it's definitely been brought up a lot. It's just, knowing when that looks flat and then being able to use that as data for, how you're moving forwards in prep as well.
yeah. Like we've been able to introduce a good amount of food already. Like we've got two high
He's
days
in a
a week.
really good spot.
Yeah, 2 high days a week, 430 carbs on a training day. Rest day weight came up a little bit, but then came straight back down after the high day. So I can't grumble. And yeah, I'm now in a position. I think I complained about it last week about, oh, I'm just, like trying to come out the diet. My head's gone. Like I'm just fucking Finn. Just make the changes, mate, and I'll do it. And whatever happens, happens. And I'm kind of just trying to leave the whole coaching process and allow you just to work what you
The
need
thing
to.
is, like, it's no surprise when you do that, you look better because you just
Yeah,
relax. Like when you're trying to steer your own ship within coaching, there's no point in having a coach. You know what I mean? Like, fair enough. Like, obviously, give me your 2 cents, 100%, and you were doing, but you were also stressing, like, not stressing, but like almost worried to gain weight. And I, like, realistically, mate, you've not gained weight because you've relaxed more and you're eating more food and your training's better and you just look fresher and fuller. Like, you will gain weight soon. We need to. We don't want to keep dieting, but like, this happens all the time. Like pretty much 99% of the time, if you don't binge out of a diet, this always happens. You introduce more food, you reduce expenditure, improves, stress drops off. You therefore just look better and leaner and usually drop weight. Like it's almost always the same. Like I don't really recall the last time that I didn't see somebody out of a pre-prep or priming phase or whatever, out of a mini cut. I didn't see somebody lose weight in the first week or two afterwards because I've deliberately not ramped their food up high enough to get them straight into a surplus. I've
yeah,
just
They
given them
don't.
enough for them to like come back up towards maintenance, and then they're like, "Oh, mate, I'm eating more food, I'm moving less, and I'm the same weight, or I'm even leaner." And it's like then they start feeling good and trusting the process of adding more food.
Yeah.
But it's usually the only reason that people that doesn't happen is if people just go and binge and eat off plan too much directly after a diet. That's when you then struggle to actually work your food up. That's what you post about, like earning the right to actually increase your food. You know, there's no surprise your food's where it is because you've not been eating off plan every day since you finished the diet. Like you've
Yeah.
literally had. It's the same with Shay. Shay's had a couple of off plan meals post show, but nothing crazy. He's managed them really well. So like he's getting more food every like 2, 3 days.
Yeah, it does make a big difference. Really common, as you say. It's kind of like peak week in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you go into that if you're already pretty battered, you add more food in, you relax, you chill out a bit more. And obviously, like Noah's definitely not been having, peak week training recently. Seeing you in your training like today and at JP's, like you're very much locked in. Intensity is really, really good, but all that food's just getting put to good use. I always say to people, like, put that food to use. Make sure that food goes towards you gaining muscle, not gaining fat. Like when I'm in the gym and I'm like, am I going to get this rep or am I not? If I'm coming at the back end of a diet, I've got more foods. I'm like, don't be a fat cunt. Make sure that you actually put this towards gaining muscle and not fat. And people probably say that's some like sort of eating disorder or something you shouldn't be thinking about. Like, oh, I must not get fat. I need to put this to muscle, and if I don't get this rep, then I'm just fat. But like, you can put that food to such good use, and it does make you look so much better. It's sick.
You look great.
In a good spot, man. Very good
Right.
spot. We're going to talk about pre-prep diets today. We've only got, 20, 25 minutes of discussing that. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed the updates and chatting through all the progress. But pre-prep diets, going to use Noah as an example again. The Lorax has arrived.
That's awful, mate. I looked awful. I looked ill.
Incredible.
I looked actually like ill. I've been storing nuts for winter in those cheeks, mate.
You look
Awful. It's
through the
like a
face, you do
Snapchat
look like
filter.
what's his name, Theodore from
Yeah,
Hour in
fuck me. Same build as him and all.
But yeah, pre-prep diets. We're going to talk about, what you're looking for from them, how long these should be, a rough idea as to where you want to get to, how that's going to impact your prep, the type of people that should be running them, if you maybe shouldn't be running them. Going to show some examples. We've got a video up from the Natural Physique Hub as well. So from our lovely Finn without his, what do you call them? Are they curtains? Or are they?
I don't know. So I had somebody message me today. Boss, I'm cutting my hair on Saturday. Do you have a photo of your cut so I can copy it? Haha. Thanks, man.
Take that.
Yeah.
You ever get that, Noah?
Nah, they're like, what did you get? So I know not to get that. That's what they say.
That's a good compliment, though, Finn.
All right. Thanks, mate. But I don't have a photo of my cut, so I'm gonna have to get one.
Take one after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick
You've
selfie.
got yourself floating about the screen and a big fat Jay Cutler as well.
Mm.
So
Right,
this is exactly where you want to be.
go through the actual lecture and then we'll use Noah and maybe other well, there's examples on here as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully you've got some examples. We'll pause it there. We've got it clear here. Do you want to chat through it a little bit? You want to give
Yeah,
us
I
a
won't I
summary of
won't
your
just read it. I won't just read it out word for word.
like a
Basically, like
presentation in PowerPoint?
yeah.
The
So
exact words.
basically this is like part of some of the content that we put out on the hub. Obviously over like the last few months with the shows, we haven't put anywhere near as much out. We've hardly put any out, but we're going to put some out again. We're going to do it in seasons. So when the shows are on, we're going to take a step back from it because we're busy, and when the shows are off, then we can put more content out. Um, so this was one of the like contest prep lectures about the pre-prep diet and like what it is, whether or not you need to do it, because not everyone needs to do it. Like a lot of people think, oh, I need a pre-prep diet, and it's like if you're really lean already, like you're just wasting time. Like you don't need to do a pre-prep. Also, if you're somebody who's like just not got that much muscle, like you probably don't need to do a pre-prep unless you're really out of shape. Like which, if in which case you need more time to grow and then go into a prep in years to come, not next year, let's say.
I
So
didn't pre-prep diet, like to
yeah,
put that
exactly, because
way.
you were lean. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
I was in a good
need.
spot already.
Yeah. But basically, like the way I outline it to clients is like it's the first part of your prep. Yeah, you can call it prep phase one. The bulk of the fat should be pulled off. And again, like if you look at Noah, his majority of his fat has been pulled off now. So like the hard work realistically is done. Like obviously, when I say that, I mean the hard work in terms of like the majority of the fat. The hardest work is getting legit stage peeled. Like, but realistically, like if you've got more time to do that and you can do it slowly, it's a lot easier than having to do it all in one go. So yeah, basically, as it says there, like you're looking to actually pull body fat down to a more productive level. Like peak off season for a lot of people, where they feel most productive is a bit too fat for the start of a prep.
Yeah,
Hence
you're
why
gonna
I
have
think
too
it
much to pull
makes sense.
off.
Yeah, I have a lot of clients who feel really good, probably 40, 50 pounds above stage weight. Like, I'm not going to keep them at 15, 20 pounds above if they feel amazing at 40, 50 pounds above. So you get them where they feel good over time. And then ultimately the pre-prep is to get them into a position where they don't have to pull off 40, 50 pounds. They can pull off 15, 20 pounds or 7 to 10 kilos or whatever it may be. So it also helps just like build habits and foundations for the prep. Like a lot of people will actually grow throughout their pre-prep because they lock in a lot more. I'd argue that Noah's grown throughout his pre-prep. I'd
Mm.
argue that, for example, someone like Lewis Agnew, Josh's client, has grown throughout his pre-prep, looks really good. Like people lock in and they put the foundations in place and you see it as like a building phase, not as a diet. You know what I mean? You see it as like you can still grow during this time. And if anything, you're setting yourself up for like the prep being a much more productive prep because you've practiced basically. You've kind of practiced prepping. Yeah. And then also I've put there about like you can assess the physique at leaner body fat. So again, with Noah, for example, perfect example, got lean, realized, oh, actually your back's not one of your stronger body parts now that you've got a lot less fat there. Let's put a bit more training focus towards your back.
Sick. Move on
Quite
to
cool, like
Patty.
looking at it like that and then relating it to like something now, because this was
Yeah.
obviously this was
Yeah.
like done a while ago. So
No.
that's Noah.
Yeah. That'll be you at the Christmas dinner, mate.
I mean, yeah, that nah, I'll be locked in, mate. I'll have
That'll be
my
you
fucking
after the custard's Christmas dinner. Like just
custard
as you're
Christmas
getting over
dinner.
the
I'm gonna
dessert.
have fucking Tupperware out, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, so don't be like Jay Cutler going into your prep. You don't want that. I put a post out last night about starting your prep in a good position and like actually planning it out properly.
Yeah.
And I'd spoke about like not wanting to lose much more than 15% of your body fat. I used 80 kg as an example. If you're 80 kg going into prep, pulling down to like 68 kg, that's 15%. I think that's a healthy, good amount. Significantly more than that would be difficult. Myself, I pulled from 73 kg to 65-ish when I was in my prep. So Noah, for your first prep, you pulled off way more than 15%. So
Yeah.
again, it goes to show like we're literally evidence of this. And we've had plenty of clients as well that maybe had shorter preps before, that haven't had pre-prep diets before going into it, and they've not been able to get anywhere near as in a good condition as they were before. And a lot of people, if anything, like these clients that maybe have competed before in the pre-prep diet, they can get close to, or if not better condition than they did in their previous prep, just from simply again doing things a lot better, planning things out, taking their time more with the fat loss, not doing crazy protocols and stuff like that. And that's the main thing with your pre-prep diet. It means you don't need to do that within the prep itself. Again, no, you were doing loads and loads of steps, weighted steps, so on and so forth. This time you'll be, I'm not saying that you won't have to push hard at sometimes, this and that, but it's more so on your body. It's not the mental side of it, because I know that you could do 30,000 steps if you get told to, and you just crack on with it. It's not that you don't want to work as hard. That's not the point of a pre-prep diet. It's not to make your prep easy and it's just people being scared of actually some hard work in your prep. Is what that does to your body and then your
Yeah.
ability to lose fat, your ability to retain muscle and stay fresh and so on and so forth. So starting too fat for your prep is a big issue. And people just assume like, if you look at literally your old kind of old school bodybuilders, I remember I had a client and he was like, well, Lee Priest dieted 12 weeks from peak off season. Here's fucking peak off season Lee Priest there. Fat he is. He's huge. But no, like, they were like, he's done 12 weeks of dieting and he's in stage condition. That does not work the same for a natural competitor, like, not at all. You need to be smart with what you're doing. So, pulling off what you've pulled 33 pounds here, Finn.
Yeah.
That was peak big thinner.
Yeah, that was like obviously the end of my off season and then the start of my prep. And realistically, I even still started my prep a bit too heavy, in my opinion. So I pulled down from 233 to 190. Or no, it was like higher 180s. So that was a lot of weight. And I did that in quite a short period of time. And towards
I
the back end
remember
of it,
that you'd
yeah.
pulled off. So you were like, this week I pulled off this amount, or like you got to week 8 and you'd pulled off 30 pounds or something. I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I pulled off like I think it was like 46 pounds in 12 weeks, and like in hindsight, I didn't need to do that. It was a bit too much, a bit too aggressive. Towards the end, my training definitely sacrificed. But then coming off the back of it, felt good. Like filled back up, put on a good what like 12, 13 pounds, I think it was. Probably should have put on 5 to 8. Would have been better. Probably starting at like lower 190s would have been a better option. Um, because then I still had like 40 pounds to pull off in that prep. I got down to 160, and realistically, I probably didn't need to. I probably should have pulled down to like mid 160s. But if I'd have started at let's say mid 190s and pulled down to mid 160s, that's a 30 pound prep. That's easily manageable.
Much
That's
more
like
manageable, yeah.
12 or so kilos, just over 12 kilos, let's say. So yeah, that's kind of again like the perfect kind of way you want to manage it. I'd maybe started a tiny bit heavy, still gave myself plenty of time and everything, and didn't wasn't hard to lose that weight. But initially, if I'd have started a bit leaner, would have been able to lose a bit slower. Wouldn't have needed to sort of rush, let's say. And I wouldn't say I needed to rush at all, but again, you learn from each prep. And like for me, I got lean quite quick, but not peeled. And then I was trying to chase more and more condition when realistically at that point I should have been just feeding myself up more and stuff. And like the later stages of prep, the fat loss would have come through just the time that I had left without digging and digging and digging. But again, all good learning. And again, I've become a way better coach for coaching myself that year. Like I now am a much sort of more one like understanding, but two like much.
You're much more in touch with like what the person needs and not
Yeah,
just
I think I'm much
pushing,
better
pushing,
now at
pushing.
noticing like when to pull people back and feed them up more than just push.
Yeah.
Based on what that did to me as well, and also how hard that made me, like how hard it made me, um, or how hard it was to make me look fresher when it was a peak. It was so much harder because I was buried, or how hard it was in post show phase because I
That's
was
what I
just
was going to mention.
completely crashed. Like,
Yeah.
whereas like for someone like Josh, like you were being fed pretty regularly, you were having high days pretty much every week. You therefore filling you up for a peak was easier, generally most of the time, unless you were having some digestive stress, but like most of the time it was easier. And then also post show was a little bit easier because you'd been having, some off plan meals. I say off plan, they were still tracked, but you'd been having things like Nando's to fill you up throughout the prep,
Yeah.
which made it therefore a lot easier in the
Just
post
like
show
again,
because you
like
weren't
my
like, oh, I can't wait for this or that.
yeah, my carbs got up to like 500s like relatively often. I was eating that like a good amount of the time. And like when I got into post show, like there wasn't a giant difference. So it was just like, oh, this is pretty normal. Like I think the benefits, relating this to a pre-prep diet, the benefits of that towards post show is massive as well. If you're not having to pull off loads of weight, pull foods super low, if your prep can be on higher foods, going into that post-show phase, you're not going to be fucked. Your hormones aren't going to be as fucked. Petru got his test and everything done. I mean, he's Petru, but he had 17 nanomolar test now, and he's 28 weeks into prep because it's just been slow, steady, and I've been feeding him up for the past like 10 weeks. Not feeding him up consistently, but just a little bit of push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. His performance is still super good, and I've got no doubts that post show he'll be fine as well. It's just like with you and that prep that you'd done there, you'd obviously dug yourself really hard. And post show, you still handled it well in a sense of you didn't end up getting super fat super quick. But if somebody didn't have the head that you have on your shoulders, didn't have the
Oh, mate,
experience that
yeah.
you had, there's a good chance that they'll never bodybuild again.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
100%.
this all sounds so dramatic, but like if you start your prep fat, you could completely fuck yourself.
Yeah, you see it happen.
Really,
Like people end up having to bury themselves to the point where they hate bodybuilding, and then they never, like you say, they never do it again. And the thing is, they don't hate bodybuilding; they just hated that specific prep because they didn't manage it very well. And then they don't manage post show well, and then they balloon up in weight, and then they try and diet, and then all of a sudden now they're in an awful position where they've got like an eating disorder and they're hormonally fucked to the point where they go, "Oh, I fucking hate bodybuilding," and it's
and
like.
blame it on bodybuilding.
Yeah, and like again, like 100%, mate. Like I literally post show, if I wasn't switched on, like I could have easily been like, "Fuck this!" Like I felt awful, I looked awful. It was like, "Fucking hell, this is rough." Like I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to stick with this and crack, kind of get through it. And then a
Yeah,
few months down the line, it was like, "Oh, I actually look all right now." But like the immediate term post show was like, "Okay, I don't look good," like because I was just absolutely battered. You put on that initial weight, and again, like I was still probably for a good 6 months, let's say, recovering from that prep, maybe even longer, but at least 6 months, let's say, recovering from that prep hormonally. So like again, you're not really growing for a good while. So it did take me some time. But again, like this is a good example. So this was Sunny. So peak off season on the left, that was when he started with me, and we like pretty much straight away went into a pre-prep. So that was the end of the pre-prep, the second photo in October. So you can see there he's pulled off like 25 pounds. But again, the big one here for Sonny was what I've just spoke about in terms of like it was actually a growing phase because he built all those habits that he needed again. He improved his training, he started posing more, he was more disciplined to his diet, to his routine, to his sleep, to his training. So like he actually grew during that time. And then the actual prep start point, he was only £10 up in 6 months and bigger and fuller. You can see there, put a bit more emphasis to areas like his adductors, for example, so there's less of a gap, things like that. And then you can see him far right, which is a fucking stupidly good shot.
Yeah,
That was when he won. I've put classic
He
win,
won
and
the
he did it.
overall.
No, so he won the classic, but he didn't win the overall. But he
Was it
was in
just
the
him in the
overall.
overall?
Yeah, he was in the
Oh,
overall. But I don't know. I don't know if I meant. I think I explained that
just
in the.
wanted to make it look better, mate.
No, I think I
yeah,
explained it
guys.
in
I
the video.
know most of you probably don't know Sonny, so I can just say it.
But still,
He
£20
actually won
down.
the Olympia.
Yeah, Sonny did win the Olympia this year. Yeah, it's actually we coached Derek Lunsford, those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a perfect example or one really good example. There's a few examples on this video, so go to the next one, Josh.
I think something worth pointing out again, he's lost £25 here and lost £20 here. Look at the difference within that. Like he's pulled off less weight and there's a drastic difference in condition. Again, just to emphasize that starting point, if he was to be here, you'd think compared to the weight that's been pulled off there, you wouldn't imagine that in a sense. You know, like just being in that lighter position in closer to stage condition to start your prep, that's only £20 off versus a 25, and it looks like a massive difference in
It
how
looks like
much,
he's gained weight on the right.
yeah, and how much body weight has came off versus how much body fat itself.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next one's, sorry, I'm going to move this up a little bit. More examples.
Yeah, so obviously a female example as well with Sunita. So this she works in kilos, so we actually were speaking about this. So yeah, basically initial diet was only a few kilos down, didn't need to pull off loads, wasn't in a bad spot where she felt pretty productive in her off season. Started a prep, to be fair, still went up to 75. So this was a bit of a little bit more weight to pull off, but essentially if you look at the 75 in the third photo versus the 75 in the first photo, that's the main difference.
Big
Like
difference.
sometimes you can shoot yourself in the foot being scared to gain weight as well. This is one thing that I think people do nowadays is they're so married to a rate of gain that if they're gaining any faster than that, they panic and they think like, oh my God, it must all be fat. There's so many factors that will dictate your rate of gain, like genetics being a huge one. Like some people can just gain muscle quicker than others, unfortunately. Yeah, so like I'll have some clients who are gaining pretty quickly and they just look bigger and leaner every week. And I'm like, okay, let's just keep going. Like I'm not going to go, nah, mate, you need to bring this rate of gain down. You're gaining too much muscle too quickly. Like that's ridiculous. Like especially young lads, yeah, or just young athletes. Like I've got a couple of young lads that train here and like they're just growing like mad because like they've got a new gym, a good environment, coached by me, and obviously see me here, and their training's really good, and it's like they're gaining like let's say 3-4% of their weight a month instead of 1%, which might be like my usual target rate of gain, but they're 16, 17-year-old lads. They're literally like in their peak years of growing. So yeah, anyway, with Sunita, you can see like the improvement from 75 in August 2023 versus 75 in March 2024. Based on again, like what we spoke about, the habits that she put in place because she was like, right, I'm prepping now. I need to take myself a bit more seriously. And it just makes you lock in. Again, Noah, perfect example. Like, not that he wasn't locked in within his off season, but it's different, isn't it? Like, you're not having as many off-plan meals. You're a bit more disciplined with your day-to-day routine. Your training becomes a bit more important to you because you're like, I need to
That
focus on
short-term goal as well, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, it
Like
gives you
having
that
something right in front of you and
urgency. Yeah.
prep
I think
becomes
for me,
more of a
even like
reality.
it had been so long since I'd been on stage. It was like 2022. And even back then, I was so young and I knew nothing about it. It's something so foreign getting back on stage for me. And knowing that this would be the majority of the fat that comes off was like, right, okay, really keep things going. And it ended up just, again, having that goal. And for a lot of people, having a short-term goal as well as a long-term goal is a big driver of just being able to go, Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah,
Let's
it
have
gives you that bit of pep in your step. It's
100%.
a big, big difference. And as you say, like you've literally been calling it prep, and it does make that more of a reality. It's like, right, this is so important towards my prep. I'm treating this like prep. I'm not snacking on little things here and there. If family's got a meal, I'm not taking little bites of it, this and that. It's like, here we go then. This is a lot of the work that needs to be done.
So if you think of it as the first part of prep,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah, it
then
makes
this
sense.
now, what Noah's in now is the second part of prep. So this like metabolic improvement phase is what I tend to call it. Essentially, is like getting yourself in a better position metabolically for the prep. So food higher, expenditure lower, so you've got room to pull down again. You've got a greater runway for fat loss again. Like that's still a part of the prep. And you could even argue if we fucking go in this far, your
Yeah,
off
you're
season,
always in prep.
your off season's
Yeah,
still part of your prep, and ultimately, if you do treat it like that, you will be a better athlete.
yeah.
But yeah, this is Nathan. So off season, peak off season 196, pulled off 20 pounds ish, 22, and then went back up to 183. So put on about 9, and then I've put overall win. He didn't win overall. That was an accidental one. That was an
Isn't it?
accidental.
Fucking hell.
Guys, everyone here
No,
wins
this is
overall.
this was the one I remembered I accidentally put. But yeah, basically came. I think in that show he came second, but he looked mint at that show, and that was an NFM show, so an untested show. But yeah, pulled off what 22 pounds again from April to September. So in terms of when like the time frame for all this, like realistically, I quite like to. I think there might be a slide about the timeline. Maybe
A
not.
butcher.
Yeah, another
A
one.
butcher.
Um,
I don't
Yeah, I
know. I
don't know
don't
if there
think
is
there
a
is.
slide about the timelines, maybe not. But basically, I
There's
always like to think like pretty much you start in your pre-prep around about a year-ish before you're looking to compete. Pre-prep's going to be maybe 3 months or so. Then you've got a phase in between of maybe 3 to 4 months of coming back up, and then you've got the prep, which is maybe 5 or 6 months. Yeah, perfect there.
Yeah, so we usually have it mapped out on a sheet similar to this. We all run off the same sheets, but you'll have your gaining phase, you'll have, your pre-prep diet, then gaining slash metabolic improvement, and then the actual prep mapped out itself there. But sometimes you're going to be forced there's going to be clients that come to you a little bit too close to the show, or they don't have time to run like a pre-prep diet, then a full metabolic improvement phase of months and months and months. It might be a case of you need to push up for 8 weeks and then you're back down again, but you'd so much rather do that than just have a prep that's ridiculously long, bringing
45
yourself,
weeks. Then
yeah,
you
bringing yourself back up. Or like say Sean, for example, when Sean came to me, he was 92 kg, something like that. Then on stage, he was 72 kg, so that's 20 kg pulled off. We done 12 of that in the pre-prep diet, push back up for 6 or 8 weeks, and then the next, and obviously when your body's a lot fresher, you're ready to go again, pull back down from there. Like if that was, right, we're going to start prep 4 weeks earlier to give us more time to pull that fat off, and then just try to do it all in the one go. It would have brought nowhere near as good of a look, and he would have again just not enjoyed the process as much. Sean's post shows went very well. He's really excited to move forwards to improve, and now next time he's going to have a pre-prep diet positioned in the right place. He's going to have more muscle. He'll be able to go into prep in a really good spot. We know how it works, and boom, go from there. So it's gathering that data as well, but having it all mapped out on the roadmap, I think, does help a lot too. Like it gives you a bit of direction and clarity with that as well. So yeah,
One thing that I like to map out and have been doing now as well is like specific diet breaks. So they can almost like visualize, okay, right, I'm pushing for 6 weeks, then I get a diet break. And I'm going to push on for another 6, then I get a diet break. And like 6 week stints of pushing pretty hard for fat loss, like is more than doable when you know you've got a bit of a break coming at the end of it. But if you just feel like it's never ending, like that's when it's difficult. And then basically like your rate of loss essentially will just slow as the prep goes on. So again, like Josh kind of covers it on this post, like you can be more aggressive at the start, slow it off towards the end.
there you
The
go.
latter
Yep.
stages, essentially want to be, like I said earlier, like when you're sort of, especially in between shows and stuff, you don't want to be like banging in loads of cardio or anything like that. Like your fat loss between shows, as it says here, it's not going to be harsh dieting. It's realistically going to be a case of like coming back down to baseline, maybe adjusting the peak and improving for a better peak, or potentially you need a little bit more to come off, and you just do that through a bit lower food. You can keep steps and cardio moderate because you don't want to just hammer your lower body and start eating away at tissue. So that's why you can be more aggressive at the start when there's more to lose. And then, a prep should, if you're looking at a graph, a prep would almost look like that, where it just tapers off as you get
Then
closer.
slowly gets a little bit more even. Yeah. That's what I've said there. Like when you are fat, you can pull off a kg of fat so easy. Like a kg of fat per week. Simple. Get that done early doors in a pre-prep is just that on a larger scale. You get that done really early doors, then you come into the prep. You make sure you're pulling that off within that first half, and then you're just looking to slow down that rate of loss. We'd mentioned, 1 to 1.5% of your body weight coming off for, say, the first half, and then it's looking more towards that, like 0.5%. Just being slower with it and being able to actually retain that tissue is massive. But yeah, pre-prep diets, we're at 7 o'clock. Do we want to mention anything else? Anything we feel like is worth mentioning?
Go back onto Matt's example because we didn't cover that. And then I think that's pretty much that's us. But yeah, like obviously we don't need to go through like again, it's the same concept. Like
Yeah.
obviously all of these have their own sort of nuances. Everyone's going to be a bit different. Like nobody, it's not like everyone's on the same food and everyone's on the same this and everyone's dates are the exact same. Like obviously it's going to be based on which shows are you doing, which shows are your most important shows to then like aim to be your best at those shows, work backwards from that and set out the prep and set out the pre-prep and everything. But again, like Matt here, 192 down to 165, then put on, a little bit more, 178, and then down to 157. Um, again, like realistically, he if you look at 165 versus 157 as well, I know he's not really hitting a pose there, but like because we were able to
Yeah.
lose slower and start a good 14 pounds lighter, that meant that we could lose slower and he could hold on to more tissue and therefore like just look a good chunk bigger at a lighter body weight because you've been able to retain muscle or even build muscle as well. Again, like Josh, you're a good example of somebody who built a lot of muscle throughout your prep.
Yeah, definitely. I think learning the client's body is such an important part of a pre-prep as well. Like even if you again don't technically need it, having a diet with that client before they go into prep is really beneficial because their body might work in a way that again they flatten out super quickly, so they need a high day a week. You know that straight away, at least at minimum. There's some people that can just, deal with that digging, not deal with it, in terms of mentally, but their body can handle that more. They need to be pushed a little bit harder. Right out of the gates that you're going to need to put their foot lower, and it's simple as that. You're not trying to beat around the bush of, we'll just have food here and then we'll bring it down if we need to, and then it doesn't do anything. You learn in that previous diet, that pre-prep, right, mate? You need to be pushed harder, and we just need to go for that. You mentally prepare them for that in a sense. Or some people, like right from that previous diet, we know that you flattened off super quick. So we're going to be running high days straight out the gates, and we'll assess and see how we get on from there. So working with a coach for that pre-prep diet, I think is really important. Obviously we're speaking about it, but doing that with your coach instead of doing that on your own, tidying up a little bit and then going to your coach just to start prep. It's a thing that we mention a lot, and I think a lot of people know it, but starting with your coach a good amount of time before the prep begins, and not just messaging someone, yeah, mate, I'm looking to compete this year. What do you think? And you know nothing about how their body works. It's more guessing. And obviously you would learn that throughout the prep, but if you've got a full diet where they're getting pretty lean, like within a pre-prep diet, you're looking to get within shooting distance of stage condition. Matt's what there, 165 versus 157. He's not far off that. That's 8 pounds. And obviously the visuals aren't exactly the same, and he's not quite as close to stage condition as he would have been in the prep at 165. But you'd learn how somebody's body works when they're really lean. Even if you've had normal diets beforehand, you don't know how someone responds and how they look when they're really lean. So it's kind of learning that in a sense too. So it's just gathering that data, and then obviously the actual benefits of it, which I've obviously went through all of them there. But yeah, I think pre-prep diets that wraps us up. If we're all good with that,
Yeah, that was good.
spot on. So
Anything for you to add, Noah, just based on like how you're feeling now coming out of yours and like what you feel that you've really benefited from in terms of doing that diet?
To be fair, for me, I think the biggest thing is I've never been more when I've had more food, been more like switched on to this means
sorry, guys. We're back after some technical issues. My laptop fucking died right in front of me. The screen just went black and panic. But we're back. I'm gonna clip this together. We were just talking about Noah, the biggest things that he's got from this pre-prep diet, and that'll wrap us up. So Noah,
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was now that I finished it, or to be fair, even during it, I had a lot more of a an importance and urgency with my training. I had spoken multiple times, I don't know if it'd been on the pod, about how much I just despised training for a good amount of time earlier on this year. And I think having that urgency and having that short-term goal just kind of made everything kick up a level, and I gave myself a bit more importance. And it became real instead of just thinking, oh, I'm going to compete at this time, knowing that, oh, we're actually like, this is what's going
Especially
to,
when it's been so far away from,
yeah.
or if someone's a first timer and they've never prepped, this is the introduction to it, you know?
Exactly. I think having that reminder of fucking hell, like it is actually going to come around. And the plan was to compete this year. And then with me being in Japan, travel, injuries, I remember exactly where I was. I was walking back to my apartment from Ayase station, and I sent Finn a text. I was shitting myself about to text. I was like, do you think we should possibly do 2026 as my final year at juniors rather than doing 25? And Finn was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And the fact that the goalposts almost got moved, and I think for a little bit of time, even at the start of this year, that may have played into why I really didn't enjoy training. I just felt lost. And then I remembered, holy shit, that is actually here. And I gave myself a lot more importance as an athlete. I cancelled traveling back to Japan to focus on my reversal. Like last time I'd went to Japan, I was in a pre-prep and I didn't manage it well. This time I've full on put myself in a completely different position because I wanted to be as best as I could be next time I step on the stage and not leave anything to, oh, this might happen. No. So my training, like everything got that bit more heightened. There was more priority, there's more urgency. And I think that in turn, I have grown in this diet phase. Even, mentally being able to just make sure things get done. And even if I was a bit, oh, fucking hell, they just got done. There's not a question of if something gets done, it's just it gets done no matter what.
Yeah.
And in turn, I think that application of myself has resulted in how my head is in the recovery, in the reversal. Like I'm a lot more just head on. I feel like an athlete, which is nice because I think for parts of this year I felt like more of a coach and then like a blend of the two. And I feel like as much as I'm a coach, I'm also an athlete, and I've reminded myself and I've seen photos of myself and proved to myself as well is the biggest thing that I can actually get in somewhat okay shape. And next year we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me, to be honest with you.
Sick. I think that's good. I think a small thing to take from that quickly as well is like as you were saying, you just get shit done.
Yeah,
Like there's also that benefit of this is an opportunity to, really, really be as productive as possible in all areas of your life. In a pre-prep and a prep, and we've spoken about it plenty of times before, can really change your life. And this is, again, the first step to doing that. That pre-prep diet, just being more productive, getting everything done, not spending as much time eating your foods, and just being like, yeah, I'm being productive here, and I'm gonna fucking get after it. Like,
mate,
it's
I'm
a
telling
big
you that
difference.
people talk about all the time the prep productivity, but see, whenever you just get your shit in place, like if you know you've got X amount of like in when I was in prep last time, I had 25,000 steps. I ain't got time to just be pissing about.
Yeah.
But I need to make sure my time management is on the ball. And with that being said, a lot of good things start from that productivity. Instead of being sat with your finger up your hole, you might be thinking about, "Oh, okay, maybe I want to try and do this. Maybe I want to do this." And before you know it, that prep is what's led me to everything that's happened in my life, whether it be learning a new language, whether it be starting up a business, whether it be taking myself as an athlete, whether it be many different things. It all stemmed from my prep back in 2022. And it was those habits that I learned from that productivity and just not getting slack with them over time. So people do talk about it like, oh, productivity, bro, but it's just having a routine and not being, I can't say that word.
Sloppy and yeah, just
Yeah,
like
just
just a
keep
bit
to it. That's it.
sluggish and throughout your gaining phase because it's easy to do so. And literally, as you said, like the start of this year and beforehand, when there wasn't as much short-term goal, it's easy for that to happen, and it's hard to see that it's happening in the
Yeah.
moment as well until you go into a phase like this and you really take yourself more seriously and you start to push yourself more. You're like, fucking hell. I think about the progress I could have made if I'd done that for the past 6 months, past 9 months, past year. So learning from that, taking the habits from it, and Finn mentioned that earlier, but really do, like really, really push yourself as much as you can within that pre-prep diet. Figure out what you can do, push yourself as far as you can and who you are realistically. So yeah, I think that covers us up well.
A good way to wrap up,
So
I think.
thank you for listening, everyone. Hopefully a good episode, some value in this one, and not us just chatting absolute shit. So yeah, that's us. Please do like, subscribe, share on your stories, help more people out with their pre-prep diets and stop people turning up fat on stage. Simple. There we go. Goodbye, everyone. See ya.
Bye-bye.